The internet exploded after shocking headlines began spreading across social media claiming that Jay-Z had been arrested by federal authorities and that new evidence connected him to a frightening incident at Rihanna's home. Reports about security footage, a suspect firing shots near the property, and a possible investigation involving federal agents quickly turned the situation into one of the most talked about celebrity stories online. Fans everywhere started asking the same question: what really happened behind the scenes? To understand why this situation caused such a massive reaction, we first have to look at the two names at the center of the story. One is Jay-Z, one of the most powerful figures in music and business. The other is Rihanna, a global superstar whose influence extends far beyond music into fashion, beauty, and billion-dollar business ventures. The connection between Jay-Z and Rihanna goes back many years. Early in Rihanna's career, Jay-Z played a key role in helping introduce her to the music industry through Def Jam recordings. At the time, Jay-Z was serving as the president of the label, and Rihanna quickly became one of the most successful artists associated with the company. Hits like Umbrella helped turn her into an international icon almost overnight. For years, their professional relationship was viewed as one of the most successful mentorship stories in modern music. Rihanna's rise was massive, and Jay-Z's business empire continued expanding at the same time. Together, their names became symbols of success in the entertainment industry. But recently, online rumors and conspiracy theories have begun painting a much darker picture of events behind the scenes. Those rumors intensified after a terrifying incident occurred outside Rihanna's Beverly Hills home. According to police reports, officers responded to calls about gunfire in the neighborhood. Witnesses reported hearing multiple shots, and when authorities arrived at the scene, they discovered rifle casings near the property. The situation immediately triggered a large police response as helicopters and patrol units flooded the area. Neighbors described the moment as chaotic and frightening. One resident said they were inside their home doing everyday chores when the gunshots suddenly echoed through the neighborhood. Another neighbor described hearing what sounded like multiple rounds being fired in quick succession. For a quiet residential area known for celebrity homes, the sudden burst of gunfire shocked everyone nearby. Police later confirmed that at least 7 shots had been fired toward the property. Investigators discovered bullet holes in the gate outside the home and damage to a vehicle parked nearby. Authorities quickly launched a search for the suspect responsible for shooting. Within hours, a 30-year-old woman was located and taken into custody by law enforcement officers. According to investigators, the suspect had fired the shots from inside a vehicle parked near the property. Authorities later arrested her in the nearby Sherman Oaks area. Thankfully, despite the frightening situation, no one inside the home was injured. Reports suggested that Rihanna may have been inside the residence at the time, though it remains unclear whether her partner A$AP Rocky or their children were present during the incident. As news of the arrest spread, speculation quickly began taking over social media. Many people started asking the same question investigators were asking: why would someone target Rihanna's home in the first place? At the time, police had not revealed any official motive, and authorities stated that the investigation was still ongoing. But that did not stop rumors from spreading online. Within hours of the suspect being arrested, new claims started circulating that the woman had allegedly told investigators she had been sent by someone else. According to these rumors, the suspect supposedly claimed she had been offered money to carry out the shooting. Those allegations instantly pushed the story into an even more explosive direction. That is where the name Jay-Z suddenly entered the conversation. Unverified claims began appearing across the internet, suggesting that the suspect told police she had been paid $20,000 to target the property. Some posts even alleged that the person behind the payment was Jay-Z himself. These claims spread rapidly, even though authorities had not confirmed any connection between Jay-Z and the shooting. At the same time, many observers pointed out that the internet often runs ahead of facts during high-profile incidents like this. Investigations involving celebrity homes attract enormous attention, and speculation frequently fills the gaps before official information becomes available. Law enforcement agencies have repeatedly warned that early reports during active investigations are often incomplete or inaccurate. Still, the story continued gaining traction. The idea that a suspect had been arrested after firing shots at Rihanna's mansion was already dramatic enough. But the possibility that someone powerful might be connected to the incident turned the story into a viral headline across blogs and social media platforms. Meanwhile, police continued examining the evidence at the scene. Investigators collected shell casings, reviewed security camera footage, and questioned witnesses who had heard the gunfire. Authorities also began analyzing surveillance recordings from nearby homes and streets to determine exactly how the suspect approached the property. And as those details started emerging, another question began circulating online. Was this simply the act of a lone suspect? Or was there a deeper story hiding behind what happened outside Rihanna's home that afternoon? Because of investigators were able to trace who sent the suspect, and the security footage confirmed new details, the situation could quickly become much bigger than anyone expected. As investigators continued examining the scene outside Rihanna's Beverly Hills home, the focus quickly shifted toward understanding the suspect's motive. Detectives began reviewing surveillance footage from nearby houses, street cameras, and security systems around the neighborhood. In areas like Beverly Hills and Beverly Crest, many properties are equipped with high-end security systems, meaning there are often multiple camera angles capturing everything that happens on the street. Authorities reportedly collected several hours of footage showing the suspect's vehicle driving near the property before the shots were fired. Investigators wanted to know whether the suspect had been watching the house for some time, or if the shooting happened suddenly. These kinds of details are critical in cases like this, because they can determine whether an incident was planned in advance or carried out impulsively. Meanwhile, the arrest of the 30-year-old woman raised even more questions. According to early reports, she had been taken into custody shortly after the incident in the nearby Sherman Oaks area. Detectives began questioning her about why she had been near Rihanna's home and what led to the shooting. As with any investigation, authorities carefully examined her statements and compared them with the physical evidence. The fact that multiple rounds were fired made the situation extremely serious. Police said that investigators recovered several rifle casings near the property, suggesting that the weapon used was far more powerful than a standard handgun. That discovery immediately elevated the case, because assault rifles can cause significant damage even from a distance. Neighbors described the gunfire as loud and rapid. One witness told reporters it sounded like several shots fired back-to-back, echoing across the hills surrounding the neighborhood. In areas like Beverly Crest, sound travels easily through the valley, meaning residents several blocks away could clearly hear the shots. What made the situation even more disturbing was the possibility that people may have been inside the home at the time. Reports indicated that Rihanna may have been present when the gunfire erupted outside the property. However, officials did not confirm exactly who was inside the house when the shots were fired. The safety of the people inside quickly became the biggest concern for investigators. Fortunately, authorities confirmed that no one was injured during the incident. Despite the bullet holes discovered near the property, the shots did not appear to strike anyone inside the residence. Still, the idea that someone had fired multiple rounds toward the home of a global celebrity shocked the entertainment world. Rihanna is not only one of the most successful musicians of the past 2 decades, but also the founder of a billion-dollar beauty brand and a major cultural figure. Because of her global status, any security incident involving her immediately attracts international attention. News outlets across the country began covering the investigation, and helicopters from multiple stations circled above the area as police worked the scene. As the investigation continued, another important question emerged. Detectives wanted to know whether the suspect had any previous connection to Rihanna or her family. At that stage, authorities stated that they had not yet determined whether the suspect personally knew Rihanna or had any relationship with her. This is a key part of cases involving celebrity homes. Sometimes suspects are strangers acting alone, while in other situations investigators discover a personal connection between the suspect and the target. Determining that connection often takes time and detailed investigation. Meanwhile, speculation continued spreading online. Social media users began posting theories about why Rihanna's home might have been targeted. Some suggested it could have been a random act, while others believed there might be a deeper motive that had not yet been revealed. But law enforcement officials repeatedly emphasized that the investigation was still ongoing. Detectives needed to analyze evidence, examine surveillance footage, and verify statements before drawing any conclusions about what happened or why the suspect fired those shots. Another element investigators examined was the route the suspect took after leaving the scene. By analyzing traffic cameras and nearby security footage, detectives attempted to reconstruct the vehicle's movements before and after the shooting. Tracking that path can reveal whether the suspect acted alone or had assistance from someone else. These types of investigations often involve multiple agencies working together. Local police departments, forensic teams, and sometimes federal authorities coordinate to examine evidence, interview witnesses, and build a timeline of events. In high-profile cases involving celebrity homes, the pressure to find answers is even greater. The public wants to know what happened. The media demands updates, and law enforcement must ensure that any information released is accurate. At this stage, detectives were focused on one main objective: determining the motive behind the shooting. Why would someone drive into a quiet Beverly Hills neighborhood and fire multiple rounds toward the home of one of the most famous artists in the world? That question remains the center of the entire investigation. And until authorities fully examine the suspect's statements, the surveillance footage, and forensic evidence collected at the scene, the full story behind what happened outside Rihanna's home may remain a mystery. What do you think about this situation? Do you believe the suspect acted alone, or could there be more to the story that investigators have not revealed yet? Let me know your thoughts below, and stay tuned for future updates as more details about the case continue to emerge.